The Krupp Steyr Waffenträger is a Tier 7 German premium tank destroyer, but unlike most premiums, you can get this vehicle in your garage for absolutely free. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full review talking about its gun, the 3-shell autoloader that it has, and why I think that this is actually a really good reward, especially for people that want something really unique to come into the game. It's very rare that Wargaming releases a new tank into the game that is free. The last time we've had this happen was the 50 TP prototype, and before that was the Kunze-Panzer. It seems like this is becoming more and more of a relevant thing, and I hope Wargaming proceeds to do this in the future, because then it brings a lot of new vehicles into the game that you don't need to spend actual money to get. Now you might be asking, how do you get your hands on this vehicle? Well, good news, it's not that bad. You just have to win 23 battles a day. Now 23 battles a day is obviously quite a bit if you only have 50% win rate, because then you're going to be having to do 46 battles a day, which in return is about 2.5 hours of playing every single day. Not everybody has that amount of time, so my suggestion, if you want to get this tank faster, is play lower tiers, maybe tier 6, maybe tier 7 in a platoon. Try to get those 23 wins as fast as possible, because it's a pretty nice tank. Now I'll be honest, if you do struggle to play lightly armored vehicles, you will 100% struggle to run the Steyr. There are battles I've played, in fact I've had 1-0 already in this tank because I was completely one-shot by an RHM. You have literally no armor, 20mm at the thickest, as you can see on the hull, but thankfully it does have quite good mobility to counter that, going 50 km per hour forward, 17 in reverse, and a pretty solid power to weight ratio of 19.2. Its gun is also a fantastic part of this vehicle. In fact, I love it because of the gun. It carries a 3-shell autoloader, fantastic aiming time at 2.9 seconds, dispersion that is pretty solid. It's not amazing, but 0.326 is plenty for what you're using it for. And it's got 2200 DPM, which means that you have a very quick clip reload at 12.68 seconds. You deal 660 damage, and then you reload your clip, and over and over and over. Now, for the battles I've used the vehicle, I haven't gotten my clip out every single time. In fact, it's very rare that I'm able to get the full dump of a clip out, but there are situations where you can, and with the 226mm of standard pen and 265 on the premium, because obviously I am running calibrated shells as it is an autoloader, that's pretty fantastic. Even tier 8 you can quite easily penetrate with standard ammo, and even going up against the Tiger 2, I loaded premium ammunition and went straight through the vehicle. So the first battle I'm going to showcase here was a very, very clutch one. This was over 4,000 damage, and it was pretty painful. So what do we have on the enemy team? We got an Annihilator, a Smasher, oh boy, that's already fun, and a Vindicator. Sure, the Vindicator might be useless for a lot of situations, but we're on Himmelsdorf, which is flat ground, and I'm in a tank that, as we went over, has 20mm of armor, and just a slight high roll from a vehicle that does any of those shells will completely destroy my game or even kill me. So I gotta be very, very cautious, and that's one thing you have to realize about this vehicle, is in certain battles you need to be careful. Thankfully, you have a very good camouflage rating, and I mean, look at that aiming time. It's actually so nice. I've really been enjoying playing this tank. I obviously did a live stream on it, showcasing what was good, what was bad, and it went pretty well. So what do we have up against us? So we got an Annihilator there, and over towards base A, we got some of the medium. So I'm trying to think, okay, what do I want to do in this current situation? Well, we could shoot the Tiger, which is what I'm going to try and do. Aiming in, and kaboom! There you go, nice shot right into the engine deck, which obviously lit him on fire, and actually gave us a pretty chunky 481 damage for what was a singular shot. The Annihilator, well, he only got one shell into me. Thankfully, I was able to back up before any more were able to concur with my tank, is a good way to say it. I hate Annihilators so much. This vehicle does not do a great job fighting Annihilators. Obviously, that vehicle is kind of very similar to this vehicle. Same damage per shot, except it gets all of its damage out in a matter of 0.3 seconds. Oh, and it's got hit points and armor and gun to... yeah. The Annihilator is just not even fun to fight. So, in this battle, I decided, instead of fighting the Annihilator, I'm going to drive away and deal with the mediums at tier 6 that I can quite easily deal with. So there's one shell into the agent. Here comes shell numero dos, and we don't need the third one because he gets cleared, so I'm going to instantly start reloading my clip. Now, you could argue I could have shot that VK, but I usually just reload my clip whenever I feel like the threat at hand is taken out. So now I'm reloading. 2 shells, 3 shells in this vehicle should be able to clear him. So here we go. There's the first shell, and what I'm going to do is load an HE. Kaboom! Finished him off. I mean, this is pretty nice so far, isn't it? We're already up to 1,660 damage, which is already a decent chunk for a tier 7 game, but we're going to continue racking out the damage. Off to the one side, we got the Smasher and the Annihilator, both at basically full health. Ooh, boy. That's not fun. I was trying to think, well, what do I want to do here? Well, I'm going to try and aim right in between the train cars. There's 1 shot. This guy isn't reacting quick enough, so there's 2 shots. That's about 450 hit points we just took off for that guy. And there you go. Having a 2.5 second interclip is very nice because not a lot of people react quick enough to back away from the second shell. So even if you only get the second shell out, to be fair, you're still dealing 440 damage, which is pretty beefy alpha for a tier 7 tank destroyer, if you think about it. So what do we have? We got the Smasher. We're going to get 1 shell into his vehicle, but oh boy, you saw me just be very worried here for a moment. Smasher's pushing on me, and at this moment, I was trying to bait this guy around the corner so my Annihilator could kill him. Come on, Annihilator, please, please. Oh, you do not know how worried I was that I was just about to die. With only 597 hit points left, I was basically figuring I was a goner, but we weren't. And thankfully, that Annihilator decided to shoot the enemy Annihilator. So with that, there's 1 shell, there's 2 shells, and obviously with 226 millimeters of standard pen, there's no question in the doubt that we're going to pen our 3rd shell into the Annihilator's lower plate. With that, we are at 3,400 damage. But there's still 2 tanks left on the enemy team. We got a Tiger 1 and a Steyr Waffenträger. So, well, there's a bit of a problem. We are down on cap. And sure, we might have a tank advantage right now, but it doesn't mean we always will. And with the Steyr and my teammates not being very healthy, specifically my Annihilator, my E25 is pretty good, but yeah, that Annihilator, 1 shell from that guy, and they're up to 900 base cap, and they would be very quickly winning the battle. So I'm being cautious. The Annihilator did get some shells out, but right now, oh boy, they're up to 890 on the base cap. I'm purposefully in the base C right now, and I'm getting some shells into the Tiger, distracting him, which means he's not shooting at my Annihilator. There you go, 3 shells, taking off over 600 hit points. Now we're over 4,000 damage. And my Annihilator was able to finish off the enemy. So, not bad. We're already up to 770 points now, but again, the enemy is slowly climbing in points. Now I had a choice right now. Do I capture the base, or do I go for the Steyr? And in this moment, I decided I'm going to go for the Steyr. They have 1 base captured, and this guy, well, he's going to try and capture base B, thinking that we'll do the same. And it would be much less productive for me to go and capture a base instead of just doing that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty easy win, and that's the Steyr. A very, very nice battle for the tank, showcasing where I think it's a pretty good vehicle. And I mean, that was a pretty fantastic battle to showcase how, even up against incredibly overpowered tanks, you can win a battle. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a game that wasn't necessarily the highest damage, but a very fun battle. Jumping into the second game, we find ourselves stuck on Dead Rail. Now, Dead Rail can be a great map for tank destroyers. Unfortunately, we don't really have a medium. We have 1 German Bulldog, and that guy is already not pushing towards base C, which isn't great, especially when the enemy has a Chimera. Yeah, I don't want a Chimera coming up behind our team, farming them for all the hit points they have, and possibly even shooting me and the Steyr with an HE for half of my health. So instead, me and my platoon mate here, who's also a fellow Mystic member, decided to push into this bush here. And we're going to aim towards base C. Now, would you look at that? Somebody is capturing base C. That's very aggressive, by the way. That was super quick to push in there. Maybe the Chimera just thought, hey, they only have 1 tank. Maybe I'll push up. But yeah, so my German Bulldog pushes up, and then he does a weird YOLO move. At this moment, I was like, okay, what do we want to do? The Bulldog's pushing up. He's trying to encounter a Chimera and a Steyr, but okay, you have fun with that. What we're going to do is we're going to come up behind them and try and clear the enemy. So speed will be key. Obviously, with the 50 kilometers per hour of mobility, and even uphill we're going 30, this is not a slow tank at all, so that's great. And what we're going to do is completely ruin this Steyr's day. So there's 1 HE right into his vehicle, and unfortunately my teammate misses, so I'm going to slap another HE right in there, a clutch shot. Then I was thinking, do I want to shoot the Chimera? Nah, I'm just going to reload. So we've already taken 1 tank out, and now it is a 2 versus 1. I figured I'll distract the Chimera, and I'll let my teammate come up behind him and get a clip in as well. The guy's only got 1,278 hit points, which means that together we should be able to full clip this guy. So here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you for all of your hit points, and you're dead. I mean, just think about what we did. We just brought a full health Chimera, literally dead. That's insane. It's actually insane. Now, obviously, we were streaming when this was going on, as you can read in the chat. So, yeah, this is available on the live stream as well if you want to check it out. But this was pretty fun. Now we got the Jagdpanther 2. And again, just watch this. Full health Jagd Panther, 1,219 hit points. Well, 2 Steyr shooting at the Jagd Panther. Oh, no, you shot me. Oh, wait, you're dead. I mean... wow, is this tank insane. Sure, I didn't do that much damage. 1,800 is nothing impressive for tier 7. I mean, I'm averaging over 2,000 in the vehicle. But I thought that this would be a very, very fun battle just to showcase why I think the Steyr is such a fun tank and why I would suggest to actually try and grind it. I don't think it's worth your time if you're a busy person. As I always say, if you're busy and you actually don't have time to grind it, then it's probably not worth your time. But if you're somebody like me that plays Blitz for an hour or two a day, it's probably a little fun. And yeah, you'll be able to get your hands on this vehicle. So let me know what you guys think about the Steyr in the comments down below. It's a fun tank. And yeah, I'll be playing this thing for probably the next week or so. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. And other than that, thank you Wargaming for making a free event that I don't need to spend $100 to get a tier 7 like the Super Hellcat in probably a week or so. But other than that, I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.